Okay, I'm ready to begin reviewing the pseudocode that I've written, and you can follow along. I've posted the console UI and the PhoneMap classes with their current pseudocode at this haste bin shown in this URL. And you can follow that while I'm reviewing the pseudocode. I'm going to quickly trace through my pseudocode, and I'm going to draw the current state of the variables as I proceed, and I'm going to be using my test data from my test plan here. And the first test item is boy. So the pseudocode says to read all the words from the input, and so I begin entering this while loop. So at that point, line is boy. And then I make that the word, and I call translate using that word. And translate initializes an empty string, calls that result, and then for each letter in the word it converts the letter into an index in the translate array and looks up the digit. So the digit for B will be 2, and then we'll append that to the translate string. So now result is equal to 2. And then we get the next letter, which is O, and looking that up in the translate string, O is a 6. So now the digits are 6, and then we add that to the result. So now the result is 2, 6. And then we look at the next letter, which is Y. And Y is 9, and then we append 9 to the result, so now the result is 269. And that's what gets returned, and when we return, we call add that account number to the map. So we go to the add number routine, and the add number routine starts by setting word count equal to 0, and it looks to see if 269 is in the map. Well, at the moment I don't have a map, so that's going to be created in the constructor. Make sure I have that in my pseudocode. Yes, it's there. It's going to be in the constructor. Okay, so here's my map then. And clean that up just a little bit. And then the map's empty, so when I try to look up 269, it doesn't exist. So I have to create a new map entry with 269, and I put in the word, and the word is boy, as value. And I set word count equal to 1. gets returned. So back in console UI, we passed 269 and the word count to update highest. Updates highest, then looks at high count, and high count started out at 0, and the word count of 1 is greater than that. So high count becomes count. We clear the winner circle. And then we add 269 to the winner circle. And then we return from update high count, and we can then process the next word. Okay, going back to my test plan, the next word is bow. So handle bow. And will be, first thing that happens is it trims it and then calls translate. Okay, translate begins by setting result to an empty string, and then for each letter in the word, takes B, converts the letter to an index. B would then be a 2, and then it adds 2 to result. Then it looks up O, so O is a 6, and then 6 gets added to result, and then it looks up W, W is a 9, so 9 gets added to result. And then we're going to translate. So bow in 269 gets passed to add number, and word count gets set to 0. And we look to see if account number is in the map. 269 is in the map. So we get the value for account number. So that's going to be boy, and then we add bow to boy, and we put it back in the list. So now boy and bow are both in the list, and word count is list outside, so word count is 2. And then we return 2, and then console UI calls update highest with 269 and 2, compares 2 to 1 and says, oh, it's higher. So high count is now 2. We clear the winner circle and put 269 back in it. Then we're done with update high count. Okay, looks good so far. So I'm going to say this is the only thing that needs the methods we didn't test were get results and get words, but those are pretty simple accessors to this data structure, so I think we can skip those. So that ends the pseudocode session.